but with great skill from him to wing the Mo Salah! Raheem Sterling! What a finish! What pure class from the Englishman!
Premier Talk, the English Premier League podcast for the fans.
Hello and welcome back to yet another episode of the Premier Talk podcast. This is episode 12, Premier League Team of the Season. It's a good one in store today. A lot of activity on the social media site. I'm one of your two hosts, Andrew Mello, as always. Alongside with me is Danny B, Daniel Barbudo, the legend himself. Daniel, how's it going?
I'm good. I don't know about this legend stuff you talk about, but it's not a nice day outside, but still loving life. Almost done school, just about. Can't get much happier than I am right now.
Just about done. So Daniel, we had the socials go in all week. We made some graphics, popped them up there of players that we thought were in contention of being in the team of the season. And obviously FIFA announced today that the EA Sports FIFA had announced the team of the season cards for the Premier League team of the season. So we have our own. The fans have their own, as you guys voted all week in the stories. We're going to dive into it a little bit later in the episode, but we're going to start it off this episode with the starting lineup.
We're going to start us off with match day 33 rundown, as always.
Got the game of the week.
Then we got our Champions League recap.
We're going to talk a little bit about the newly introduced Premier League Hall of Fame.
And then we're going to end our episode off with all three Premier League team of the seasons. Your team of the season, my team of the season, and Andrew's team of the season. So we got three team of the seasons for you guys. It's going to be a good one, as always.
Daniel, why don't you kick us off with match day 33 rundown. We're almost at the end of the season. Manchester City could win next week with a win. So and a Manchester United loss. So, it's all up for grabs next week.
All up for grabs next week. Match day 33 rundown. We got on Friday, April 23rd. There was only one game. There was only 8 games this week. A little bit of a weird week because they already made up 2 match day 33 games from a couple weeks prior. So on Friday, April 23rd, we got Arsenal versus Everton. Everton came on top of this one, 1-0. Both teams haven't been in great form. I think Everton is doing a little bit better than Arsenal has. But then again, both not great. I think both didn't meet their expectations set for them at the beginning of the year. It was a close one, 1-0 here. Good win from Everton. Arsenal still poor. Saturday, April 24th. There was 3 games on Saturday. We got Liverpool.
Daniel,
versus Newcastle.
sorry to interrupt you here. I just want this Everton game reminded me. I've seen transfer rumors of late of Felipe Coutinho, the Barcelona man. You're a Barcelona fan, as we all know. You like that team.
Yep.
What do you think about Coutinho trading in the Barca jersey for Everton kid and maybe playing alongside James, Richarlison, and Calvert-Lewin?
I don't think it's bad for Coutinho. His situation at Barca is a weird one because Barca, like most people know, they're like not financially stable right now. Like they're in debt. They owe, I think, like upwards of $1 billion in debt. So they're trying not to play Coutinho right now because if they play him, I think like 3 or 4 more games, then they have to owe Liverpool another $5 to $10 million. It was all in the contract clause, depending on how many games he played. So he's not even on the roster. Like he's just in their practice squad. He's like, doesn't even get on the bench for like 95% of the games. I think it would be a good move for him. I hope that Barca can get a little bit of money for him. I saw the rumor was about like 40 to 50 mil.
I know they 35 million.
35. I know they paid what did they pay from like 120 million pounds.
Well, Daniel, they did it to themselves. They didn't play him a lot. They loaned him out. He had a terrific season a couple years back in Bayern when they won the UCL last year. So he's still a good player. He's still a great player. And then you let him sit a little bit longer, he's going to turn into a Paulo Dybala. So another flop there. So
I mean, I wouldn't say Paulo Dybala is a complete flop, but I don't think he's bad as Coutinho. But yeah, Coutinho has been a big flop for Barca. I'm hoping they can get more than 35 million for him, just because that team in their financial situation right now is not a good one. I think he'd be a good fit at Everton. He's played in the Prem before, so he knows what it takes to be a top player in this league. It would be a good fit for him, and I can see it happening.
All right, Daniel, sorry to interrupt you there. Yeah.
It's okay. 24th. Saturday, April 24th, we got Liverpool versus Newcastle. 1-1. Liverpool dropping more points again, sitting currently in 7th, outside of a UCL spot. Not looking good for them whatsoever. We got West Ham versus Chelsea. Chelsea picked up the win in this one. Big win for Chelsea. 1-0 over West Ham. West Ham is just on the edge of Champions League right now. They're trying to get in. They're pushing. They got to keep winning. They got 4 more games left from 34, 35, 36, 37. Yes, 38. 5 more games left. They got 5 more games left. It's going to be a big battle for West Ham because they need to win these games. It's going to be the first time, I think, in their history that they're making Champions League, which is incredible for them. You know, Jay Lings has been absolutely phenomenal all year. I know, quick little spoiler alert, he wasn't voted into anybody's team this season. Sadly, sad face. But he's been great. Chelsea, big win. And not much else to say about that game. Sheffield versus Brighton. This, for me, is game of the week. I put this under game of the week. Me and Andrew decided because it was huge. We're going to get into a little bit deeper in very shortly. We got Sheffield beating Brighton this one, 1-0. First time Sheffield won a game in 6 matches. Huge for them. I mean, they're sitting in 20th. Everybody knows they're getting relegated. So why not come out and play spoiler to a team like Brighton who is battling for out of relegation right now? Moving on to Sunday, April 25th. We got 3 more games on Sunday. We got Wolves versus Burnley. Burnley absolutely destroying Wolves 4-0.
This was a
Huge
shocker
for
for me. This was a shocker.
Nobody expects Wolves to get destroyed by Burnley 4-0. Let's be completely honest.
We're not expecting Wolves to score the goals that they scored last year just because their main man's out. And
yeah, of course.
Jimenez, but you'd expect them with that 3 back, and sometimes it's almost a 5 back with the 2 wing backs dropping back in terms of when they're defending the ball. You would never expect that they would concede 4 goals, especially against a team like Burnley. But Wood came out firing on all cylinders. So crazy day for him.
He's been good. He's been good all year too. The next game on Sunday, we got Leeds versus Manchester United. This one in a 0-0 draw. Literally nothing here. There was no it was just a very bland game.
I've been impressed with Leeds of late because they've been stealing points from these bigger sides. Obviously, now Manchester United, they've been doing decent of late. So it's a nice way for Leeds to sort of end off the season here on a high note, right?
Yep. Yeah, I completely agree with you. The last game on Sunday, April 25th, we got Aston Villa versus West Brom. This one ended in a 2-2 draw. I think this was West Brom. You know, they're sitting in 19th. The looks like they're going to get relegated. They're like, I think, 8 points back of Brighton, who's currently has the 17th place. They have to hop over Fulham and they have to hop over Brighton in order for them to get kicked out of relegation. Looks like they're going to go down. I hope for their sake that they can, scrape out some points in the last 5 games. It would be sick. I love when it comes down to like the last match day, because the way that, I know Andrew knows, but for you guys, the way that the Premier League does it is the last 2 match days, everybody plays at the exact same time on the exact same day. So like, you don't know what other teams are doing. You can hear from your manager at halftime. You can hear from the sideline in the middle of your game about teams that you're battling to keep in relegation and stuff like that. But I love when it comes down to
just win. You just have to win.
You just have to win. It all comes down to what you do, and you don't know what the other team is doing prior to. We're gonna move on to Monday, April 26th, the last game of the match day 33. We got Leicester versus Crystal Palace. Leicester coming out with the 2-1 win. I think this was expected. Closer than I think they would have liked it, but then again, 3 points is 3 points. And that's it for the match day 33 rundown.
Daniel, game of the week. This was a good one. You'd expect the bigger teams to be in the game of the week, but it's not always like that. Soccer or football, rather, on any given day could be a great match. Doesn't matter who's playing. And it was 2 bottom feeders, Sheffield United and Brighton Hove Albion. David McGoldrick, he scored in the 19th minute. This was the only goal in the game, but it is a huge win for Sheffield. First win in their last 6, like Daniel already mentioned. Obviously, it's not going to mean anything. It's just for morale and for the fans, really. But this is an upset game if you're a Brighton Hove Albion fan, right? This was an opportunity to grab crucial points. It was almost it wasn't a guaranteed 3 points, obviously, because they lost, but it was one of those games you would have favored Brighton Hove Albion. They have the talent, enough talent to obviously shut down and score against a team like Sheffield that has been so vulnerable defensively this year. And they're just sitting outside of relegation, as we already mentioned. And this was a huge opportunity missed, and it just allows Fulham to stay alive. It allows Fulham's hopes to still be there and still be present, because even if it's a slightest chance, it's still a chance, and they're going to be chopping at their heels now, and it's going to be a lot of pressure's on definitely for Brighton Hove Albion, knowing that Fulham are still hungry, they still believe in themselves, and they're playing decent football too of late, Fulham. So it's going to go down to the wire, and also that Burnley win, that 4-0 Burnley win was huge as well, because they're sitting not too far off the drop as well.
Mhm.
And that's a huge morale booster for them. And I think it's just ultimately, I think it'll be a staple in their season to help them stay up, because 4-0 win against a team like Wolves is not easy.
Mhm.
And it's definitely a confidence booster that's gonna, I think, will maintain them in the Premiership this year.
Yeah, like Sheffield coming out and getting a win. They haven't won in 6 games, like we said. It's I think they're playing spoiler at this point. They want to see teams come with them. It's kind of like their last grasp to like take Brighton down with them. They already know they're done. They're so far off of. I think it's impossible. I think they were mathematically kicked out, I think 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks
Mhm.
ago. So they're just gonna play spoiler at this point. They're gonna try to grab as many points as they can to see teams drop. And if you're Sheffield, why not? You're already done. You leave it all out on the Premier League. You don't know when the next time you're going to be back in this league is. You don't know. So why not play spoiler and take teams with you? I love it. I love when teams do this, especially when they're sitting in 20th.
Daniel, the champions. Champions League recap, baby. Let's go.
Champions League recap: 2 massive games. So we got the semifinals of Champions League. We got two Premier League teams left, one in each semis. The first game on Tuesday, April 27th, we got Real Madrid versus Chelsea. Andrew, your Chelsea came out absolutely flying. Why don't you talk
Yeah,
about this one?
Daniel, it kind of makes you mad. I was working, so I missed the game.
Mhm.
Putting in that
Making
those hours,
making that cash.
making that
It's
cash.
okay.
So, I was at work, missed the game, but I saw the highlights, and I was
Mhm.
quite impressed with what I've heard from people talking about the game, and obviously looking at some of the highlights. Pulisic scored in the 14th minute. It was a nice little finish there. He is the
Mhm.
first American in the history of the Champions League to score in that stage,
Mhm.
which is a cool stat there. First ever to do it, and I've been impressed since Tuchel has given him more freedom. Obviously he's been coming off the bench of late, and now he's transitioned and found himself in the starting lineup quite frequently.
Mhm.
So I've been impressed the way he's playing. He's given a lot of energy to that attack. I think Kai Havertz has been, he's obviously been underwhelming this season for that price tag, and I feel like Pulisic should be able to take his spot, and he has. And I feel like right now at this stage of the season, this late stage of the season, Pulisic would be more beneficial in the attack, obviously
Mhm.
to complement Werner and provide some more finishing ability up there. Because as we know, Werner was a little shaky once again in this match. He missed a couple sitters here. So
Mhm.
Chelsea could have easily scored 2 goals in this one, even 3 goals, but they missed out some chances. And then Benzema obviously scored later on in the game to give the tying goal there. But for Chelsea, this is an away game in Spain, in
Mhm.
Madrid, and they grab the away goal, the ultimate away goal that is truly important in two leg fixtures, right? So I think
Mhm.
Chelsea going back home, they're really gonna lock things up, and I think they're gonna be very problematic for this Real Madrid team. I think the pressure's on for Real Madrid. They're gonna have to go out and attack, and I think that when they do, they're gonna be vulnerable in the back. There's a lot of internal problems with this team. Obviously, the contract situations with Ramos and Varane. There's a lot of uncertainties with this Real Madrid side, and there's a lot of chatter that's going on behind the scenes that we don't know about, and that could be messing with the morale of the team, messing with the mindset of the team. And
Mhm.
I just think that they're internally they're so bad right now. It's been so unstable that I think Chelsea, with the momentum that they've built over the last 15 fixtures or so, it's going to be too much for Real Madrid. And I think that my prediction is ultimately going to be correct. I'm going to see my Blues in the Champions League final, Daniel.
I think Chelsea has a real shot of making Champions League final. Um, as big as we are Premier League fans, I'm gonna come out and say this, which might be a little bit shocking to some people. I would love to see all Premier League final from a Premier League fan perspective, but from a Champions League, like I want to see like I don't want to see a Premier League. So I'm like kind of like on the fence here because last time there was a all Premier League final was Liverpool versus Tottenham. I don't know about you, Andrew, but for me, that game did not feel like a Champions League final. It
Daniel,
felt
I'm
like
Daniel,
just
I'm
another.
Daniel, I'm
It
gonna have
felt
to
like just
disagree
another
with you.
match.
I'm,
Like
I'm
that's
gonna
just
have
what
to
it is.
disagree with you because Chelsea and Manchester City, they squared up not too long ago in a cup tie, and that was a great game. That was a terrific match,
Mhm.
and who wouldn't love to see that rematch? Chelsea's gonna want to get the better of them again, obviously for more silverware and for on a bigger stage. Obviously, it's Champions League final. I would love to see it. They're two of the top teams in England right now. Chelsea's sitting a little bit behind them. Obviously, Manchester United's up there and Leicester's up there. But I think Chelsea, the way they've been playing under Tuchel has been phenomenal. Any team could lose at the hands of Chelsea right now. They've been so good. They've been so dynamic. They've been so organized defensively. They're very hard to break down. I love the system that Tuchel's implemented there. He's done a terrific job. But yeah, I want to see Chelsea and I want to see City.
Okay. I'm still gonna stick with me. I know where you're coming from. It would be a pretty good game. For me, sometimes it doesn't feel like a Champions League final when it's two teams from the same league because they already play twice a season. You know, they have plenty of history. Unless it's like a derby or something where like you're gonna be going mad anyways. I like that a little bit more. But anyways, it's still gonna be a fantastic game. Chelsea going in with the away goal to the second leg versus Real Madrid. Gonna be a big one there. We're gonna move on to Wednesday, April 28th. We got PSG versus Man City, another massive semifinal. This one ended.
This is the oil derby, money derby.
The oil. There was so many memes coming out of this one. You got the oil money derby. We got the oil classico. There was a lot of stuff coming out. The money classico was nuts. City coming out on top of this one, 2-1 over PSG. PSG started off really strong. Marquinhos, he scored a great header. He's been phenomenal in the air. He's been phenomenal on set pieces. He scored a really lovely header in the 15th minute. And a quick little stat for you guys. This one was mad. And for me, I was like, wow, this is a crazy stat. He's only the third player in Champions League history to score in the quarters and semis in consecutive seasons. So back-to-back years scoring in the quarters and semis. And he joins two other players.
Don't sleep on Marquinhos. He's the face.
Don't sleep on him.
He's the face of the national team for Brazil's defense now. Obviously, Thiago Silva is passing on the torch. Marquinhos, he's very versatile. He could also play as a 6. I really like him in that position because he's very mobile. But he's a terrific player, and he was terrific on this day for PSG.
Yeah. The two people that he joined in, and just having a laugh right now. This guy's sneezing. Oh, you're hilarious. The two people that he joined are Cristiano Ronaldo and Griezmann. What do you think? Two world-class strikers, two world-class attackers. You got.
He's a leader. He's a
center
great leader.
back.
He's a great
CDM joining these two in this stat is fantastic. It ended the first half 1-0. Second half kicks off. City was all over PSG. They were attacking as much as they could. De Bruyne, he scored in the 64th minute. This one for me was a cross. It was a little bit It
was like the Ronaldinho goal a couple of years way back when Ronaldinho found the back of the net on a cross as well. I don't know if you remember that one.
It was a cross. He was looking for Stones. Stones couldn't get there. Navas is expecting Stones to get there, so he's still waiting for a touch right at the last second. He's waiting until the very last second. The ball spins off the ground, goes just inside the post into the net. People are blaming this one on Navas. I completely disagree. I think that there was two City players right in front of him. He's expecting one of them to touch the ball. Let's be completely honest with ourselves. He's expecting one of them to touch the ball. He has great positioning for a touch coming in. He doesn't have such good positioning if nobody touches the ball. Nobody touched it. Still goes in anyways. And from there on in, City looked absolutely phenomenal. Mahrez scored 7 minutes later from a free kick to put City up 2-1. Again, the free kick was good. There was a little gap in that he didn't curl it around the wall. He shot it right through the wall. So Keylor Navas again had absolutely no chance. He shot it through the wall, couldn't see anything.
You can't let off the gas, Daniel. You can't let off the gas against City.
I know you can't, and that's what they did.
PSG needed more possession, and you have to keep. The only way to beat a team like City is to keep the ball away from them and not let them touch the ball. Because when they have possession, every time they go forward is almost a goal. That's how dangerous they are. That's how much depth they have. That's the class that they have, right? So you can't lose possession. You have to maintain possession against a team like Manchester City.
And you know what's funny though? They go forward and they score so many goals. They weren't even playing a number 9 yesterday.
Guardiola hasn't seen the likes of Aguero or Gabriel Jesus touch pitch for five games or so.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
He's really implemented it quite cleverly, right? They're a possession-based team. They have so much class in the side. So you could have Foden on any given day, or Bernardo, or you could have Mahrez. Mahrez has been really good. He's stepped up of late. He's been on fire of late. I really liked how he's played in this system with the false 9 being De Bruyne. And then on either side, it's Foden and Mahrez. They've really complemented each other well. They have a chemistry that is like no other I've seen. It reminds me also of the Barcelona days when Iniesta and Xavi would link up in the midfield, and they just know where the other person is going to be at all times. And that kind of reminds me of this system that this little makeshift system that Pep Guardiola has implemented with the false nine here. So he's used it before, obviously with Barcelona and Messi, but he's using it here again in a different way because De Bruyne is a little bit different in terms of the way he moves. But he's just such a class player. I can't stress that enough. Kevin De Bruyne. Yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure to watch him throughout the years. I wish he would have stayed on Chelsea. Chelsea did him so dirty by you know selling him to Wolfsburg. That was a terrible decision. One of the Mourinho decisions there, but just it's incredible watching this team, Daniel. It's an absolute pleasure. This is a
It is.
dynasty
I
in the
know.
making. I don't care what anyone says. It's just it's a phenomenal team.
Mhm.
Phenomenal.
After City went up 2-1, they're looking dangerous already. To make the matters even worse, 6 minutes after they get put up 2-1, Gay, an absolutely brutal tackle, studs up. I
Needless
think
tackle. Yeah.
it was brutal. I think it was Gundogan who got tackled, studs up right to the back of the calf, down the calf to his ankle. Like it wasn't needed, to be completely honest with you. Like it was just like Gundogan was passing the ball backwards anyways. Like I don't know why you even need to do that. I think going up 2-1, your stress and anxiety levels go up a little bit. You start putting in more reckless challenges. This was reckless to say the least. He got sent off straight red, and then after that, it was a lot of possession from City, and City ended up finishing the game 2-1, and now they head back home to the second leg with 2 away goals, which means PSG needs to come out and have an absolute phenomenal game because they need to score at least 2 away goals to even send this into extra time or to win if they win 2-0. So PSG needs to come out and have a great game. One more stat I want to include for you guys. Andrew has an Mbappe uh, shirt hanging right behind him. Not a good day to be doing this because Mbappe, for the first time in his career, did not register a single shot on goal
0.
in
Yep.
the Champions League, in a Champions League game. Not a
And
single
that
shot on
that
goal.
shows you, Daniel. That shows you how dynamic this team is.
Mm-hmm.
From the midfield to the defense, the link up there, they're always aware of where their teammates are, and they're able to. Roger, he's on another level. That guy
Mm-hmm.
too.
He's been
Amazing
good
signing
this
a
year.
couple years back from Atletico Madrid. He wins so many balls. He recuperates possession for them all the time. And then I also want to talk about Ruben Dias because in this game I saw the Ruben Dias highlights. I saw the in-depth highlights of it, and I was just going over it and watching it. And he always knows where to be. He always
Mm-hmm.
knows where to position himself in accordance with his other defender, whether it's John Stones, Laporte, whoever it may be. He's just so smart. His IQ is like off the charts. It's off the charts.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and he knows where to be. He's heading the ball back to the keeper. He knows where to intercept the pass. He knows how to stretch the play out to the wing to Cancelo or to Walker, whoever it may be. Right? He's got a great IQ for a center half, and he's a commander at the back, and he's really revolutionized this back line. And then obviously they spent hundreds of millions of dollars, but they finally got it right
Mm-hmm.
with Ruben Dias.
Yep. Yeah, I completely agree with you. By next week, this time we'll know who the 2 teams are heading into the finals. No matter if it's Chelsea, PSG, City, or Real Madrid, it's going to be a fantastic final, like always, like Champions League always is. And so make sure to tune in. We'll be covering next week's legs as well, and we're expecting another 2 great games. We'll move on here to a very big topic. This is massive, I think, in the league. Andrew, you were really excited about this one, the Premier League Hall of Fame. I think this is huge for the sport. How do you feel?
I think it's about time, Daniel. I think it's about time. I
Mm-hmm.
think players that have played throughout the years, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, and to present day, they
Mm-hmm.
deserve to be rewarded. They deserve that recognition because we could talk about them all day, but once they get into the Premier League Hall of Fame, like other sports have, it's exclusivity. That's what it is to be inside
Mm-hmm.
of the be considered a Hall of Fame player, and in any sport, it's not an easy feat. And obviously, the 2 inaugural players from the Premier League was Alan Shearer, a top goal scorer. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
just class player. I wish I never got to see him live. Obviously, I was too young. But over the years watching his highlights, he's got an incredible finishing ability, and
Mm-hmm.
no doubt, he deserves to be in the Premier League Hall of Fame. And then the former Arsenal man Thierry Henry was his co member that was elected into the Hall of Fame. It was supposed to be Ryan Giggs. Daniel, obviously, you know a little bit about the details. Maybe tell the listeners about the discontent from the Welsh international.
So Ryan Giggs was supposed to be the second man put into this Premier League Hall of Fame with Alan Shearer. I know he said that he was a little bit upset by the fact that he wasn't, because so basically he had a couple of assault allegations that I believe he was charged with and never went to court or anything, but he did pay for them. And once the Premier League found out about this, he was stripped of being put into the Hall of Fame. He is not even in the 23-man shortlist that the fans have the ability to vote for, which we'll discuss very soon. He was snubbed out completely, which, like, okay, he may not have made the greatest life choices, but this is, like, at the same time, we're talking about how well he played in the Premier League. Like, I'm not saying, like, you should be able to get away with what he did, because he definitely made some really poor decisions. But talking about his class and his capabilities that he had on the pitch was fantastic. I think that he definitely deserves to be at least part of the 23-man shortlist. Maybe soon, when he clears up his name a little bit, he will be eventually put into the Premier League Hall of Fame. But as of right now, he is not going to be one of the eight people put into this Hall of Fame this year.
Yeah, Premier League doesn't want bad publicity. That's for sure. But a bunch of people online were saying, why isn't Wayne Rooney there? Daniel, you were mentioning to me that it's because he's still a part-time player. He had so you're not allowed to be in the shortlist if you're still actively playing, or So just to clear that up for people that are wondering why Wayne Rooney's not on there. Go ahead.
One more thing about that, I think that what they said is that the rule is you need to be retired by August 1st of last year. I don't know if it was August 1st of last year or August 1st of this year. I don't think Rooney is. I think he announced that he will be retiring at the end of this year. I just don't know where that timeline falls within that August. I think it was August 1st of last year. That makes more sense. So he wasn't retired by August 1st of last year. Therefore, he's not going to be included in this for this year. I think he's going to be on the list next year. I think there's no way that Wayne Rooney, being one of the greatest players in Premier League history, is not going to be on this list next year.
Okay, Daniel, I'm going to make a little game out of this. You can only say yes to 10 names. There's 23 names on this short list. I want to see you say yes, you should be in, or no, you should be in. So I'm going to read out some names here, okay?
Okay.
All right, so the 23-man short list. We got Tony Adams.
No.
David Beckham.
Yes.
Dennis Bergkamp.
Yes.
Sol Campbell.
Oh, geez. Yes. He was on the Invincibles team.
Eric Cantona.
I'm going to say no, as much as that pains me too.
Andrew Cole.
No.
Ashley Cole.
Oh, yes.
Didier Drogba.
Yes.
Les Ferdinand.
No.
Rio Ferdinand.
Yes.
Robbie
I don't even know. I've lost count. What am I at? 5?
You're at 6. You're at 6.
6. Okay.
Robbie Fowler.
No.
Steven Gerrard.
Oh, Gerrard. Oh, jeez. I'm gonna say no.
Don't hate me. My God. Roy Keane.
He's
playing for Man United.
Yeah. People hated playing Roy Keane.
He was a beast, though. He was a beast in the midfield. Like he would break bodies. Like he was a.
Like I think Roy Keane deserves to be more than Gerrard, but then you got like Lampard still left. You got Scholes.
Okay, so next name, Frank Lampard. Oh. So are you saying no to?
Okay, I'll say yes. I'll say yes to Keane.
Lampard.
Oh, yeah, sure. Lampard, sure.
Okay, so you have 2 more. Matt Letizia.
No.
Michael Owen.
Yeah.
Oh my God, bro.
No. I'm saying no to Owen because I know who's next.
Oh, Owen. Okay, so no to Owen?
No to Owen.
No
Owen.
Crazy though, man.
I know he was nuts though.
Former Ballon d'Or winner as well. Peter Schmeichel.
I'm gonna say yes.
Has to be
because he's one of the greatest Premier League goals of all time. So
Paul Scholes.
How many do I have left? One.
One.
This makes it so much more difficult.
Okay, we'll give you 12. So you got 3 more.
Okay, no, give me one more. We'll go 11.
Okay, fine.
Okay, Scholes, I'm gonna say no.
Scholes, no.
No.
Oh my God.
I put Keane in over Scholes. That's my thing.
Okay, next, John Terry.
No.
Oh my God.
Don't give me.
John Terry.
Like he was good.
Top center half.
I would consider Real better.
RVP. And, Robin Van Persie.
No.
Nemanja Vidic.
Oh, Jesus Christ. No.
Patrick Vieira.
Yeah, I gotta say yes.
Okay, so 10. Ian Wright.
I'm gonna say no to Ian Wright. I'll stick to my original 10.
All right.
This is so difficult.
It is difficult.
All 23 of these players deserve to be in there.
How many? Do you know how many they're letting in, or no? 10 was 6. That's it.
They're letting in 6 more. No, 6 out of the 23-man shortlist. They're letting in 6 more, plus the 2 that were already appointed. So Alan Shearer and
If
Thierry Henry.
Schmeichel's not in that 6, then I don't know what they're drinking.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna put him in because he's the only goalie in here.
I think he should. He's one of the top goalies of all time. He's very decorated as a player. He helped Denmark win Euro Cup. Like they weren't even supposed to be there that year, back in the 90s. So he's a top player. I love Schmeichel.
Yeah, like adding on to my like 10 list, like obviously you got like Gerrard in there who probably deserves to be in there, and then you got like Michael Owen, like you said, Ballon d'Or winning, who's fantastic. I said yes at first, but then like looking at the other players, it's like kind of no, kind of yes. And then even Paul Scholes.
Daniel, if you could add someone to the short list, who'd you add?
Who was I thinking? I was thinking of somebody. I don't know. Who would you add? I'll ask you first because I was thinking of somebody. I got to remember who I was thinking.
I don't know.
Of.
I think of I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking Van Nistelrooy. Maybe I don't know. He wasn't there for long though.
Yeah, he wasn't. See, that's the thing.
What's a current player you would put in there? I already know right now. Easy.
See, like even okay, here I'll put
Kevin De Bruyne, bro. Kevin De Bruyne.
De Bruyne. Okay, right now, as in right now, yes, I would put from before. Even like somebody like okay, obviously they're not retired. Ronaldo, like somebody like Ronaldo, like he was. I know he wasn't. What he was on Madrid, but he was fantastic on Manchester United. Kickstarted. He won everything there was to win with that team.
Yeah.
There's
someone else I put David Seaman in there too. Great keeper.
Yep.
I gotta show the keeper some love there. Okay, so Daniel, that wraps up that segment. That was a cool one. I'm super excited. They should honestly put Jamie Vardy in there because he's a legend.
Jamie Vardy.
But Daniel, the fans have had their say. They voted in the stories. I think this is a pretty good take on the team from the fans. So why don't you start with who's in goal, Daniel?
I just want to say first off, we appreciate you guys for voting. There was plenty of fan interaction. I think there was like at least 60 votes on every single post. So this is like, it's a lot of people voting in this. We appreciate you guys heavily. We're going to continue to do this for as many things as we can. We love the polls. We like seeing what you guys have to say. First off, fans vote where you got your vote, Andrew's team, my team. Fans vote in goal. Got Ederson, which I think is a good pick.
It's a safe pick. It's a good pick. Ederson's been, phenomenal. He's not phenomenal. He's been good. He's been great. A little shaky at times here and there. Champions League's a little bit shaky. He's only had to make 53 saves though. It's not too much. Not too much in the grand.
But then you go look at it. He has great defense in front of him. As you can see, 3 of them are voted in, right? As we can see.
Great sweeper keeper as well. Very good actively off his line. I really like. That's a new era for goalkeepers. Manuel Neuer started this, obviously, and that's why Pep Guardiola bought him from Benfica, because he was known for sweeper keeping, whatever you want to call it, playing off his line, very active, very good with his feet as well. So that's a good pick. I'm happy with that.
And they're gonna win the league, so you have to take that into consideration at the same time too. Yeah. 4 defenders. We got 3 City players in this. We got João Cancelo, Ruben Diaz, and John Stones. Again, great 3 picks from you guys. The last defender, Luke Shaw, who I think was absolutely phenomenal this year. Top tier. Alongside the other 3. This was, again, a great 4 picks from you guys in the defense. All 4 of them fantastic. 3 of them winning the league. Shaw finishing most likely second with Manchester United. Fantastic from you guys again.
Midfield.
Midfield.
Yeah, midfield.
Go ahead.
Kevin De Bruyne.
Good like pick. We all expected.
Yeah, Kevin De Bruyne. Bruno Fernandes.
Again, like we all expected. Third one.
Yeah, this one was we put him in there because he's had a good season, but he's not on my team. He's not on my team. I'll tell you that right now.
I can't say he's on my team either.
Jack Grealish. I don't know, man. He's good. He's been good this season. He's Villa's best player, that's for sure. Maybe Ollie Watkins is up there too. Another guy we put in the polls. Didn't make any team here, but Jack Grealish makes the fan vote.
Makes the fan vote. You know what? Good for Jack Grealish, because he knows that he has fans behind him that are willing to put him in the team this season. Yeah. To make the attack, we did it in a 4-3-3 formation.
Jack Grealish got 6 goals, 10 assists. Just for you guys wondering, so
which is good.
10 assists. I rate the 10 assists. That's good for him.
It's good for him. Attack, which I think this is kind of what most people are going to put for their attack. We got Harry Kane, Heung-min Son, and Marcus Rashford.
Yeah, I rate Kane and Son, obviously. Yeah,
I think Kane and Son have to be up there. I think they're in
Rashford's a
all three of our
little.
teams.
You could argue that one because there's been Calvert-Lewin, Patrick Bamford's been great.
Mhm.
So there's some
Salah's been great too. He has the most
there's
goals,
been some
or
argument.
second most. Yeah. So overall, guys, again, thank you so much for voting. Your team, that is your
Solid team,
starting 11 for your team.
solid team.
Solid team. It's a great team. Andrew, I'm gonna toss the mic over to you for your top 11 Premier League team of the season.
Daniel, I love. Bro, I'm Benfica fan. You know, I always love the players. I always continue to follow them. So Ederson for me, I love, but I couldn't put him in the team of the season for me personally.
Mhm.
And I need to give credit to a goalie who absolutely deserves to, who's been phenomenal all season, who's really helped Aston Villa turn their goalkeeping struggles around because they were a little bit shaky before. It's none other than the former Arsenal man Emiliano Martinez, the Argentinian national goalkeeper. He's been incredible. He's made 117 saves. Ederson only
Yep.
has to make 56, and that's because he has a tremendous defense in front of him. Whereas Emilio Martinez, he's still got a decent defense in front of him with Ezri Konsa and Tyrone Mings.
Tyrone Mings. Yep.
But it's no Manchester City defense, I'll tell you that. And he's been absolutely incredible for them. He really helped
Mhm.
propel them uh, when he first arrived into a decent position. They're sitting in the top five at one point. Um, he's been incredible. 32 appearances, 14 clean sheets.
Mhm.
That's nearly half the time clean sheets he's getting there. So I've been impressed with him. He's made 117 saves, like I already said. So I've been really impressed with him.
Mhm.
He's faced a lot of shots. It hasn't been easy for him, and he's made some terrific top tier saves. So Emi Martinez is my goalkeeper.
Defense. Andrew, what are we saying?
Defense, it's gonna follow the same lines as the fan vote. So I got Ruben Diaz. There's no doubt about it. He's
Mhm.
absolutely transitioned and altered that Manchester City defense, as I've mentioned so
Mhm.
many times. Uh, he's been the real reason why they've been so good at the back. He's really like we mentioned this several episodes back, but he's really helped John Stones to stay in this Manchester City team.
Mhm.
Helped John Stones look like prime Aldini at times. It's all because of Ruben Diaz. So Ruben Diaz gets the nod there as one of my center backs. My other one, he wasn't included in the fan vote, but he deserves to be in my team. It's the 20-year-old Frenchman, Wesley Fofana from Leicester.
He wasn't a fan vote,
He was in the fan vote, but he didn't make the
but
team.
they wasn't make
He
team.
didn't
Yeah, he
make
didn't
the
make
team.
team.
That's what I meant to say. He didn't make the team. He's had 23 appearances, 6 clean sheets for Leicester. He's had,
Mhm.
and I just want to talk about his tackle success. 68%. That's pretty high. Most
Mhm.
guys average on the 40s, and some guys even in the 30s. So 68% for a young center half like himself is pretty good. Um, 53 interceptions. That's a great number in 23 matches.
Mhm.
84 clearances, 50 headed clearances. He's a big center half, so he's able
Yep.
to get up and clear some dangerous chances for the opposing side. 145 recoveries. That's a great number there. You
Mhm.
want your center halves to be able to recover the ball and stop attacking plays, and he's been at the other end of it for a lot of strikers' frustration. So
Mhm.
uh, he's been absolutely incredible there. Duels won. He's won a lot of 1v1 duels, 151. That's a great stat as well. These are numbers for a 20-year-old kid, Daniel. That's
Yep.
incredible. He's our age. He's our age
Mhm.
playing in the Premier League. He's starting day in, day out. He's been the anchor at that back line for Leicester, and he's one of the main reasons as to why Leicester currently sits in the place they do. Simple
Mhm.
as that, plain fact. That's why he's in my team this season. Those numbers do not lie.
Mhm.
They're impressive numbers for a kid. He's 20 years old. He's our age.
Yep.
That's insane.
Yep. Exactly.
That's
I know.
absolutely insane. And then obviously I have João Cancelo in there and Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw for me has been really impressive, not in terms of his defensive capabilities, but going forward in
Go forward.
transition.
Yep.
He obviously has a tackle success of 65%, which is pretty good as well.
Mhm.
Um, 10 clean sheets as he's put on a Manchester United jersey this year. Um, but going forward, he's been quite good. He has around 50 passes a match, 168 crosses. He's all. If you think of Luke Shaw, think of him jetting down the wing, and
Swinging balls.
stringing the balls
Mhm.
for Cavani, for Rashford, for Martial, and he's been the assist. You know, the means for assists for Manchester United many times this year, and he's been critical for them in some late stages when they're chasing the game and they need some ball swung in. He's been absolutely incredible. So I really rate his comeback story, and it looks like Alex Telles is going to be on his way out because he's not going to get any minutes with Luke Shaw playing like this. That's for sure.
Andrew, your three midfielders.
Did I said João Cancelo too, right?
You said João Cancelo, yep.
So
The three
there's
midfielders very close to the fan voting.
Yeah,
Very
so
close.
obviously it's gonna have to be KDB. There's my dog. It's gonna have to be KDB, Bruno Fernandes, and I'm a sliding Gunnigan. Gunnigan's been terrific as a center midfielder, as a number 8 in that midfield. He's in charge of recuperating a lot of balls as well, helping Rodri out, and he's been really good in the absence of Kevin De Bruyne, because Kevin De Bruyne has been out for quite some time, and it's been Gunnigan. Gunnigan's been the man holding that midfield together. He has 12 goals, which is quite impressive for a midfielder. He's almost up there with the 15 goal scorers like Rashford and Son. So it's been absolutely an incredible season for Gunnigan, and he deserves the nod. Honorable mention for me, I would have put in there Thomas Suchek. I know I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but he's in your team. Suchek's been phenomenal as well, but I have to put in Gunnigan. Gunnigan's been top tier this year, along with Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes, obviously, I believe it's 4 Player of the Month awards for Bruno, the most ever in history in a calendar season. So incredible from Bruno Fernandes as well. So that's my midfield, solid midfield. No discrepancies there. And then my attack, I have Kane and Son. Has to be Kane and Son. Kane's obviously the leading goal scorer in the Premier League this year with 21 goals. So he's been
and leading assister too.
And leading assister as well. So he's been quite good. And then I have Heung-min Son. And then to round it up, I have Mohamed Salah. He's got 20 goals. Don't sleep on Salah. I know Liverpool have had a poor season, but you got to give him the nod because he's been responsible for a lot of goal scoring for Liverpool this season. That's my team this season.
Overall, Andrew, fantastic team. Slight discrepancies from you and the fans vote. I think the fans did such a good job in doing this that our teams are basically almost the same with a couple players switching in and out. My team, kickstarting us off with the goalkeeper. I've come off of both you and the fan vote. I don't think Andrew's too happy about this one.
I don't rate it, Daniel. I'll tell you, I don't rate it.
We got Cash versus Michael, okay? I think this guy deserves so much for what he's done for this team because he's been fantastic, following in his dad's footsteps, being an absolute phenomenal goalkeeper. Overall, he's been great. Leicester sit in third. He has 11 clean sheets. Absolutely great from him all year. He's been great over the past, I'm going to say 4, 5, 6 years. And
I know. I would put Lucas Fabianski over him, and I'll put Nick Pope over him. Yes, I would.
No, not Nick Pope.
Yes, I would. Nick Pope plays with Ben Mee and Tarkowski. So I would.
Why are you doing the Ben Mee and Tarkowski dirty like that? Two gross center backs. Come on now. No, come on. Schmeichel's been great. I think he's been fantastic. Fofana's been good in front of him. Even you got Soyuncu in front of him as well. 2 pretty good center backs. Fofana's been great this year. Soyuncu was great last year, and he was even pretty good this year. But Schmeichel has never gotten the recognition that he deserves. So I'm going to finally give it to him. He's going into my team of the season as my goalkeeper.
He deserved it in 2016.
He still deserves it.
Yeah.
Moving on to defenders. I got the exact same back line as Andrew does, and as the same back line as you guys with one change, which is Fofana, exactly like Andrew. We got Cancelo, Ruben Diaz, Shaw, and Fofana. Like Andrew said, all 4 of them have been fantastic. We both subbed out John Stones for Fofana because we think Fofana's been great all year. And John Stones, as good as he has, he's had like Ruben Diaz beside him and Cancelo beside him. So like it's not hard for him to look fantastic, even though he has been great. But we put Fofana in over John Stones. My midfield, I think everybody knows it's going to be Bruno because he's the GOAT, and De Bruyne. Again, 2 phenomenal players. They're probably going to be in the team of the season in the midfielder for as long as they're left in the league. And then Andrew put him as honorable mention. I kind of did a little swap. My honorable mention is Gundogan because I think he's been fantastic of City midfielders. He's been great. I put Souček in because he's been like a rock at this for this West Ham side. He's been fantastic. He even has like 8 or 9 goals going forward too because he's massive. He's like 6'4" or something. So he scores a lot of headers and a lot of goals off of set pieces and stuff like that. He's been great.
I know he's like a gladiator for that midfield. He does all the dirty work, and then he still manages as a CDM to score goals for that team.
Yeah.
Top signing people don't talk about him enough because it's Suchek came from Prague. It wasn't like a highly rated signing coming in, but I've kept an eye on him. He's been quite impressive, and he's really helped gel that midfield together. And with Mark Noble on any given day, and Jay Lings, they've been a top team, and he's one of the main reasons why West Ham's at the top of the table. Simple as that, because he's been able to disrupt a lot of attacking plays and also kickstart the offensive attacks for them. So.
Yeah, he's been great all year, so therefore he's going to go into my midfield. And then the attack. Andrew put Salah. I'm completely agreeing with you, fans. Again, greatest fans in the world. Rashford, Kane, Son. There's no doubt in my mind that Rashford, Kane, and Son deserves to be up there.
How good of an attack would that be in real life? That would be a phenomenal attack too.
That would be but anybody who gets it, like even your attack, Kane, Son, Salah. Like these attacks are nuts. But then again, that's what you're looking at some of the best players in the world performing it all year in the Premier League. They deserve to be in the team of the season. Rashford, he's been great. Salah's been great, obviously, like you had as well. I got to put Rashford. I'm going to agree with the fans here. Rashford's my attacker with Kane and Son. And that about wraps it up for the Premier League team of the season.
Daniel, just for jokes, who would you want managing this team?
Who would I want, man? Pep Guardiola. There's not a doubt in my mind that I want Pep Guardiola. No, you know what? You know who I'd want managing this side, Andrew? Ole.
Definitely not. Ole at the wheel. That bus is definitely not. I would want Big Sam Allardyce, the relegation man, the relegation specialist, managing my side. What a legend! So I'd have him managing my team.
No, I'd probably put Bielsa.
I was gonna say Bielsa as well. He's a great football mind, and I would love to see him, qualify next year. Maybe Leeds will have a better. Not to say that they didn't have a great season this year, because they're my dark horse, but I knew they had some talent there. They need a couple more pieces, I think, Daniel, and they'll really shore up their team and cause some problems, because with a coach like that and a couple more players, utility players that can help get you some wins, no doubt in my mind they could challenge for Europa League next year. I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah, I completely agree. That's the end of this episode. Another great one.
What an episode, Daniel. Episode 12, season 2.
Episode 12, season 2. We still got a couple more episodes left. There's still 5 more match days left to go in the Prem. Couple more episodes left for you guys. Again, as always, we appreciate you guys. We appreciate how much you've been active on socials and stuff like that. Thank you as always. If you want to listen to us, we're on Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple Music, anywhere you guys want to listen, even on YouTube. We're there. So again, as always, we appreciate you.
Yeah, follow us on PremierTalk Podcast on Instagram. Check out the stories, check out the posts, give us some likes, share with your friends. We appreciate all the love, as we already mentioned, and thank you for all your support. That about wraps it up. Episode 12, Premier League Talks, team of the season. Thanks for tuning in. See you guys next time.
See you later.